Ray Lewis. Oh, Lord, this brother. Okay, let me tell you guys something. This is amazing, Eric. I was at the gym today. You know when you're at the gym working out and you're on the way out, you're just trying to draw off and you look up and you see something on TV and you start watching it. So I got caught. I started watching today, Ray Lewis being interviewed today, and he was on Undisputed. And guys, I'm going to play it for you, and I'm going to be showing you, we're going to split screen this today and showing you different reactions, and then we're going to talk about it. Check this out. Listen to some of the things Ray had to say. Let's just listen together.
Welcome, Ray.
Good to see you guys.
So you've talked to Steve.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, this ain't the first time. Shannon knows this from the history of what I do in Baltimore since I was playing. Me, Steve, Ozzy, we have conversations about whoever. And the bottom line, you think about two topics here. The bottom line is, can he help us win? That's the bottom line. So when you get away from all this other whatever everybody else wants to talk about, like I told Steve, I said, Steve, you got to act. This is what we're asking ourselves right now. How bad is Joe hurt? How soon does Joe come back? And does Colin Kaepernick help us right now? Because if he don't help us, then what we doing? That's like bringing in a third running back, but you got two running backs already there. And so I think that's where we started to really, because we both agree, like, and I've said this many a times, we both agree, like, what he did. I'm 100% for racial injustice. 100%. Trust me, right? I lived it myself. So you don't have to convince me of that part. How he did it, totally different thing. I don't totally agree with that. But you talk about bringing him in as a Baltimore Raven. The thing that we talked about the most, and I got on the phone with Ozzy, the thing we talked about the most was, what does the core, what's the temperature of the core says? When these young guys, these Humphreys, these new guys that's come in there, this new core that you're trying to put together, where does that take them? Right? Does this come in and be purely football? Is he purely dialed in on football? Because if he is, then we have to weigh that option. If he's not, then we have to figure something else out.
And what was your view of how much he could help them win?
And my view realistically is, how bad is Joe hurt? Because if Joe is out one more week, let's say 2 more weeks, that's preseason. Then really? Then why take that risk to have him come play a couple preseason games?
Okay, what if Joe is higher risk going through the year with an iffy back that could go out at any time? Would you rather have Ryan Mallett or Colin Kaepernick as his backup?
I never played with neither one of them. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So and that's why I think every time they come to me from a different perspective. I'm going to come from the beat of the locker room. I'm just talking about the beat of the locker room. The beat of the locker room is, give me the best player that can help us win.
Yeah.
That's the beat. And so going through the whole thing, Shay, I think one of the interesting things, because we talked for a while, one of the interesting things when you hear about you're gonna please somebody, you're not gonna please this person. Okay, that's life, right? You're gonna piss some people off and you're gonna make some people happy. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what I'm asking us to do as an organization, and let's make a real decision that what we're gonna do. If we're gonna do it, do it. But if you're gonna do it, make sure we know why we're doing it, and hopefully, it's to win.
Well, listening to Steve talk, if he doesn't think Colin Kaepernick can help them win, what are we discussing? Why are we even having this conversation? We should have. He said it. He's not even giving him an opportunity. He said he doesn't believe that Colin Kaepernick can help them win.
He said, "I'm not sure."
So what are we discussing?
And he told me that, but he told me that now, and that's why I want to make sure we're clear here. Right? There's no if he did this and why he did that. Nah, because we both talked about that. That's fine with us.
So let me.
What? I mean, what? Did he even answer what? Ray, what are you talking about, man? I mean, I don't even get one thing that Ray Lewis said right there. To me, I'm just being real. It was clear that Ray Lewis was sent in almost like a hired gun, no pun intended with the whole gun thing, but he was sent in to try to smooth it over to make it sound good with his African American skin. That's all it felt like, because his excuses is like he would start defending. He was saying it was all about football. So is it about football? Is this about just a beat in the locker room? He was saying that on one end, but then on the other end, when they start clearly making the point that, you know, if you're talking football, then Colin Kaepernick is better than, you know, statistically speaking, better than the guys you brought in. Then he starts going to something else. It was just a mess. And we're going to cut out the second part with him and Shannon because they get into it. And I know when two bros get into it, we can get loud and we can get aggressive, and that throws people's attention. And I don't want people to be like, oh, they're too loud. I don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is I don't want the focus to go there. So we'll let them have their part. And now we're going to listen to when Skip started giving it to him. So let's listen to what Skip had to say to him. Here comes Skip. Talk to him, Skip.
So let's go back to, can he help the Baltimore Ravens win? Let's forget about all the
simple as that.
And what I saw from that video of Steve Bisciotti talking to a fan forum at your stadium with the commissioner up on stage, sitting on a stool right down from him, listening to all this, I saw a show that I did not like, that left a bad taste in my mouth because it came across like it was all for show. That he merely wanted to deliver a message to his sponsors and his fans, and ultimately to us here, that, well, we're thinking about it. We're scrimmaging this. That's the term he used, that Ozzy and him are going back and forth about. We're thinking hard about this. And I didn't like it, but then I like this. And then he makes a joke about being Catholic. We kneel as Catholics. And it came across to me as more lip service, to the point that he even volunteered. We're also going to bring in Robert Griffin III for a workout. You are? Why? Because if we're talking about who can help you win the most, and I'm the biggest RG3 fan on the planet, or at least used to be, Colin Kaepernick was miles ahead in performance last year of Robert Griffin III, who was a shell of himself in the 5 games he played for the Cleveland Browns. Kaepernick was pretty good last year, 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And his QBR, my favorite stat, was significantly better than Robert's, because I'm not sure Robert, he's just barely hanging on to any job that he could get in this league. But clearly, Colin Kaepernick, on his resume, on what he did in his first 2 years of starting with Jim Harbaugh, who then got pushed out the back door and sort of left Colin just twisting in the wind in San Francisco with a bad football team, clearly he's a much better bet right now than RG3. But it comes across like, for show, that Steve Bisciotti's given us, well, we're going to bring in another African-American quarterback with sort of the same skill set as Colin. So is that okay with everybody? Because we're going to give him a tryout. And it's like you're trying to convince everybody that we tried, but we couldn't get there. And it's the same thing Pete Carroll did in Seattle. They made that so public. We're trying. We brought him in. They didn't work him out, but they talked and talked. What are your priorities? What's important to you right now? That's what Pete Carroll said. And his locker room, boy, that Seattle locker room, they were on fire for Colin Kaepernick. That's the best fit in the world for Colin right now, is the Seattle locker room. Although I could make a case that the second best bet for Colin right now would be your locker room with the Ravens, right? Yes. Just because of Ozzy in the sort of the senior leadership,
what you left in the locker room, and that demographic,
the dynamic that you built and left, the legacy of Ray Lewis in that locker room. So that's the second best. But all I heard from the owner was lip service. I think he was trying to tell everybody, we tried to get there, we thought hard about it, but we can't get there. So we're going to bring in Robert Griffin III. Baloney. I'm sorry, I'm calling lip service on you. I'm calling it's all for show.
Hand clap for Skip Bayless, because Skip kept it real. He was saying things that I wanted to say. Shannon gave it to him too. But the thing is okay, it's almost like this. If you don't want to do something, just don't do it. Don't try to patronize people. And as far as this whole asking fans thing, I agree with Skip. I agree with Shannon. I'm a Cowboys fan. That's my squad through and through. Owners don't do that if they're really going to make a move. Owners don't ask first if they're going to make a move. If they're going to make a move, then they're just going to make a move. Jerry Jones wouldn't ask us. Well, he didn't want to know if we wanted to bring in Mike Hardy. No, he didn't ask that. He just did it. When T.O. came over, when Pac-Man Jones came over, he felt somebody who was in trouble, then he just did it. But the bad thing with Colin Kaepernick is when you put him in a group of guys like that, well, T.O. didn't get in any law trouble. He didn't do anything like that either. But Colin Kaepernick is in trouble about a protest. That's what he's in trouble about. And so let's cover a few things about the protest. I agree with Skip. The whole thing felt like lip service to me. Bringing up RG3, no disrespect to anybody out here, and you guys know me, I'm not trying to be like that, but that's just like saying, oh yeah, I have another black friend. That was almost cringeworthy when he brought up the whole RG3 thing. That was really cringeworthy. When I say he, I'm not speaking about Ray Lewis. I'm speaking about the actual pep rally thing they had, to where they were saying this to the fans, and you're asking the fans to pray for you and pray for that's oh my gosh, it's really bad. But let's get past that. Skip made his points, and I also want to say this about the fans who are saying, with all due respect to every Baltimore Raven fan, but the fans who are saying that they don't want Colin, that they're writing the letters to the owner and stuff. If they do bring Colin on, and they let's say Ryan Mallett, who has had plenty of off the field issues that are, plenty, but if they bring not hating on Mallett, but that's just true, if they bring in Ryan Mallett and Flacco goes down, if Flacco goes down and Ryan Mallett's there, they bring Ryan Mallett on, let's say Ryan starts throwing interceptions and having a bad game, and they're a couple of games out of a playoff chase, those same fans that are saying that they don't want to see Colin Kaepernick and they don't want him there, they will be wanting him on the field, because at the end of the day, they're going to start thinking about football. If Colin shows up and they were to sign him, they would start thinking about football. The same fans that are telling the owner now they don't want him to come, if Colin's there and Flacco goes down and Mallett goes in and Mallett starts to play bad, they will be calling for Colin to get on the field. And if Colin starts throwing touchdown passes and they start winning, they wouldn't even talk about it. The same fans would give him a standing ovation. So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on this? I just think it's a really bad situation for everybody involved. If you don't agree with Colin Kaepernick, that's fine. If you don't agree with what he did, but the man did stage a peaceful protest, and he was simply trying to bring up stuff that's happening in our world that actually needs to be discussed. Now, if you don't agree with the way he did it, I can understand that, but does this really mean he should never work again? Give me your true thoughts on it. Whatever side of the fence you're on, keep it real. Talk to me. Get in the comment section. Talk to your boy. We'll holler at you later. Ray Lewis, come on, man.